Today, we talk about. All right, that was a fun topic, huh? All right, let's keep it moving. I kid you not. The first topic on this freaking podcast notepad I have for myself says the word spliff. Very next topic Justin Timberlake. I cracked myself up. It says Justin Timberlake, dot, dot, dot. How the hell did he get away with that Super Bowl thing? Dot, dot, dot. And why can't we all? That's the topic, right? And I'm trying to remember what I was thinking when I wrote this down. This is why it's important to write this ish down, ladies and gentlemen, because I believe it's a Chinese proverb that says, "The strongest mind is still not stronger than the weakest pen, the weakest ink." That ish is powerful. If you're young, you don't get it yet because when you're young, you don't have a lot of memory issues. You don't have a lot of things to think about, so you just remember everything, or at least some people do. But as you get older, as you start to have to remember more things, as you start to remember more things, it is crucial to write certain things down because you start to prioritize what's important and what's not. You know what I'm saying? And we're getting off topic here, but yeah, I highly recommend you write things down immediately the minute you think of it. Because anything that's not worth remembering long term, like your address, write it down. You have a phone, it stores everything, it's in the cloud. Reference things later. Don't use your precious memory to remember things you don't have to. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, so yeah, Justin Timberlake. I think the theme of this was more to do with Trump, to be honest with you. And Justin Timberlake was just like an exaggerated form of this. And what I mean by that is look at a guy like Justin Timberlake, right? Mostly likable, mostly positive vibes, mostly positive ratings. Not a lot of excuse me, controversy surrounding this guy. So when he does something quote egregious like that Super Bowl debacle where he revealed the yeah, there was backlash at the time, but you survive it, you hide under the radar, you ignore it, whatever your method is, you just don't lean into it, I would say. And you come out unscathed essentially. Like Justin Timberlake, more beloved than ever, I would argue. And obviously a lot of that has to do with his talent. See Chris Brown, for example, supremely talented at what he does professionally. We're talking dancing, singing, performing, entertaining. If he didn't do those things well, we'd be done with him long ago. Why do you think the R. Kelly-ish took so long, right? The running joke is we knew about all these shady things / bad things / confirmed bad things a long time ago, but they were brushed aside because he gave humanity a skill set and he gave humanity something that was very rare and very hard to find. And that, unfortunately, is just how the world works, I feel like. If someone cured cancer but also did something super bad, we'd still take that cancer cure. You know what I'm saying? We're not going to brush off the cancer cure because the person that created the cancer cure was a bad person. You know what I mean? Yo, fuck you, Hitler, for, doing all these heinous things. But, oh, you cured cancer? Hey, we'll recognize you for that shit because I don't want cancer. And then my grandpappy has cancer. We're going to cure his cancer. Thanks, Adolf, but fuck you too. I feel like that's just kind of the general emotion I get out of people. That's the emotion people have in general. Is as long as you're providing something of value to me, I will forgive certain of your shortcomings. And obviously, when you talk about art, it gets a little more murky. But back to Justin Timberlake, I think the fact that he's supremely talented, it's just undeniable, man. You watch this guy's camera presence alone. And I've learned this the hard way with my own camera presence, let alone friends of mine that I've tried to involve in this YouTube channel that just don't have camera presence and have no interest in having camera presence, or watching content of other people's and recognizing immediately, now that I've done this myself enough behind the camera and in front of the camera, to recognize when people just have horrendous camera presence or just don't know where to even start with camera presence. The camera presence this guy has is just undeniable, man. Some people just have and some people just don't. You know what I'm saying? And that's a big deal, man, because you could be supremely talented, but if you can't do it when the red light is shining, hey, bye, you know? And and I said again, the question was, how the hell did he get away with it, and why can't we all? I think a prime factor of that is just staying away from it. And I can't remember if he apologized or not, but I guess that's kind of the point, right? Because don't you feel like when someone apologizes for something, you almost remember the apology more than the actual incident? And this is why I was talking about Trump earlier. I feel like Trump just ignores the issue and keeps it moving, and we don't bat an eye. I mean, everyone bats an eye, right? But like nothing happens. And I feel like that's part of this is just like if you fuck up or if you make a mistake, you have to recognize that it was a mistake and don't be consumed by it and keep it moving and keep getting better and I'm not saying Trump is getting better and he's like an amazing person. I'm not saying that ish at all. I'm just saying we can learn something from this motherfucker. Like we can learn how to operate in our own lives in the internet era the way this guy is giving us the blueprint of how not to do it. You know what I mean? Like in his, I shouldn't even say how not to do it. Like we should take some of the things he's doing and incorporate it into ourselves. But he's a do's and don'ts, mostly don'ts. But the way he's doing his don'ts and still surviving, we should learn from that because we all want to survive, right? But we also don't want to be shitty people. You know what I mean? And there's a way to do that because I feel like unfortunately some people fall victim to being regarded and remembered as a shitty person, even though they weren't because they weren't put in the right light. And it's not in reference to anyone specific as far as Justin Timberlake, Chris Brown, anyone else we mentioned already. But yeah, I just feel like we could learn a lot about just like ignoring a lot of noise and just like focusing on your goal and your mission. And if your goal and mission is pure and is good and you have good intentions, then if you get some backlash along the way, you just have to learn to like deal with those bruises. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like, I guess that was the point I was trying to make with this whole Justin Timberlake thing. It's just, well, again, it helps to be uber talented, right? But again, as far as like talent goes, like talent is one thing, but performance and delivery is a whole other thing. He delivers the goods. He delivers making people feel good. If you can make people feel good, whatever it is you're doing, keep it up. Even if there's something you do that ends up with backlash, something you do that didn't go as planned, something you do that ends up getting you a little bit of flack, you got to learn to compartmentalize that, shove it aside, and keep it moving. Because in the grand scheme of things, there's been who knows how many years. I don't even remember when that freaking Super Bowl debacle happened, but no one talks about it today. Take Kobe, for example. Kobe is an amazing basketball player, and he was never convicted of rape, by the way. It was just simply allegations that were dropped, but regardless, he has that tarnish on his record, right? But no one really talks about that anymore. And the reason is you overcome it. At the time, I guarantee you, back in '06, he was in a state of mind that could have consumed him and turned him into the worst basketball player ever. See Tiger Woods circa whenever his whole issue was going down and he broke down, like professionally speaking, as a player. Kobe could have done the same, but he didn't. He not only overcame, he fucking thrived, bro. And part of this is me being a Kobe stan, but it is what it is. And again, I'm probably going to get flack for, quote, defending him in his rape. But A, I never said that. B, it was rape allegations that, C, were dropped. So it is what it is. But anyway, that's not the point here. Like no one's, this is exactly what I'm talking about. This is breaking it full circle. Because my whole point is I'm trying to deliver a message of how we as human beings and as individuals can get better and overcome this whole internet milieu that we're all trying to navigate freshly together along with the internet itself. And I'm trying to like provide my 2 cents to like help people in general. But people are going to listen to this and call me a rapist or call me like a rapist apologizer or call me like a bad person. And this is literally a perfect example of like what I'm trying to help people understand is something that can be overcome. Like you're not going to compartmentalize this few minute segment that I'm just doing right now. Call me out on it and then make me shamed and feel bad about it just so I can put out like hopefully a million more clips after this about varied other topics that will hopefully also be helpful in a lot of ways to many people. And then this will literally just be a blip in the radar. Like this won't be remembered, assuming this blows up to be like some backlashed major controversy of like, oh, he's a rape apologist, he's a raper, he loves rape, like all this like garbage that just gets spewed out by people that just don't know better, you know, or people that are too bored or have a misconception of what they saw. And yeah, let's cut it there and move to another topic. I think we addressed everything. I just think a lot of people aren't listening, and people have selective listening. They're just listening for what they're listening for, and this would be a perfect example of that. And I feel like we kind of got off the deep end with this, but hey, we're living and we're learning. This is episode 2 of the podcast. We're just making a hat and so yeah, let's keep it moving.